Okay, flight from Pico in upstate New York in the Adirondacks. Got some views set here. I like what X-Plane 0.1 or 0.51 is doing. It adds a lot more detail to the airports. Although I've taken off from this airport and there's a line of trees right here. What I'm doing is just comparing high definition or the HD mesh. I've got it turned on and I'm going to do the same flight with it turned off just to see the difference. So here we go. This is the Cessna 210. Single engine. A lot of P factor here. And the gear up. I love this gear. Like a bird's leg. Yeah, I know. Need to be paying attention. So frame rate's in the 40s. I don't think I have my trees that populated on my settings. But I'm just going to be looking for differences between what I see here and the other one. Now, that is not sure what, Lake Pleasant out there. Didn't mean to do that. Forgot what I have mapped on my joystick for this. And come back on my prop a little bit. I'm going to be about 25. So this is Highway 8. That goes into Speculator, and there is a little island here in the middle. There's a girls' camp out there. This is northeast of Utica. And we'll fly up 12. So the town of Speculator is down in this direction, and this is 12. And Indian Lake is out here. Little lake out here called Lake Whitaker. Indian Lake just north of that. So let's go back and see what this looks like with everything turned off. Now, even though my frame rates are pretty good, it seems to stutter a little bit. Alright, back with you in a minute. Alright, I've removed the HD mesh scenery, and we'll take the same flight and see if we find any differences. I think I'm starting in the middle of the runway here, so might turn this into a short field takeoff. And we'll look out the front window in just a second. Let me pull my prop back. 2500. And now let's look out the window. So I see one little lake off to the left. And now we're looking for a couple of lakes. One of them is just to the west of Lake Pleasant, and then there's Lake Pleasant. And I also am interested in the roadways. Interesting. I see the road. That would be 8, but no lakes. Very interesting. Trim out the airplane a little bit here. So we can see that there are a lot more roads down here, and those roads would be where a lake is. So I'm not even sure which one is 8, but Lake Pleasant would be right here. So I'm gonna have to guess where 12 is. Highway 12, which takes us out to that little lake now. Here's Indian Lake, and it looks like they have Whitaker Lake there. But we are missing accurate roads. The roads that you see here make absolutely no sense. I know the area. Now the mountains themselves, or the hills, whatever you want to call them, seem about right. And Lake Whitaker seems about right. But again, the roads are completely whacked. So, missing a couple of lakes, and we have all kinds of roads that don't really exist in the area. And I'm looking for the Lake Piseco where we took off. Ah, there we go. There's the strip, but no lake. Interesting. That is something I didn't show you in the last video, but there you can see kind of a flat area. That is Lake Piseco normally. Here it is nothing. So 3 significant lakes are missing. And there's our little airport there in Piseco. Better get back in the cockpit, slow the airplane down a little bit. And I know they don't have pappy lights there. One thing that you have to get used to when you move to a complex or high performance aircraft is it does take a while for things to slow down. I remember when I was training for a pilot and I moved up to just a 182, things got real interesting real fast. Having only flown 172s. So we're just a little below pattern altitude here. There we go. Get some flaps in. Yeah, normally when you take off on runway 22 in the other direction, the direction we're heading, you fly out over the lake. So if you, you know what, I don't see any particularly great frame rates as a result, and I'm not sure if the thing loaded any faster. I'd probably need to run a stopwatch or something. But I do like what X-Plane is doing with the scenery at these airports. Alright, that concludes our comparison, and hopefully that was informative.